Hello, hello, welcome on our channel. Last week we've listened to The Patient. Great song. It has so many different interpretations. As always, thank you so much for all your comments and for being with us. This week we are still within the Lateralus album. We will listen to really short Mantra and then Schism. When I was actually preparing to today's video, I had a little bit look up through the lyrics beforehand. And I've noticed that Maynard supposedly said that the lyrics meant to be an interpretation of the song in this particular one. So whether it's true or not, I'm about to find out. I think I'm going to keep it brief. Before we start, we do have a Patreon. So if you would like to support us, I will be really, really grateful. And yeah, just crack on it unless you would like to add anything else.
No, I'll just tell you that I will let you know when the songs change between Mantra and Schism. I think you will know anyway.
Okay. Cool.
So, whenever you're ready.
I am.
Okay.
That's intriguing.
And the Schism is about to start.
So nice.
The end.
Nice sound. Let me tell you, in this song, the pieces fit.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, so good, so good. I'm pretty sure as well. I've heard the song before, maybe not the whole song, definitely not the whole one, but I'm pretty sure I must have picked up some parts of it when you've been listening to it before. I had this feeling at the very beginning, especially. I hope it's not a disappointment. I extremely enjoyed the song, and perhaps I'm a bit biased as well because of this note that I read beforehand.
Okay.
That the lyrics mean to be interpretation of the song, because really
Of the song or
of the
music?
Of the music, yes, because really the words they can have so much in it that they're so.
But does it mean so? If it means
there's
that
so many layers.
if you say that lyrics are interpretation or supposed to be interpretation of the music, does it necessarily mean that they don't mean anything? I mean,
I don't know. I think it can mean, and it actually can mean a lot. It's the pieces fit. So I heard throughout like the pieces fit in this song. I don't know, perhaps because of this very first thing I've read. I don't know, maybe I focused a bit more. I don't know. But I just felt the music. It was so good,
But
it was so brilliant.
So I would just like to notice that the name or the title of the song, Schism, really fits the lyrics as well. That's interesting.
You reckon?
Yeah, schism means divide. Something is dividing, right? Division.
But in here the pieces fit.
Or they don't. but they also fall away.
Like I really like the lyrics, to be honest. For me, it was a bit more of a poem, you know. So the very first note that it can be, the lyrics can be interpretation of the music. I don't think it means that they have no meaning. Quite the opposite, actually. The whole song felt a bit more like a poem, and you know, you can interpret the poem in so many different ways. It's almost as if, as if there are different layers to it, if you will look more closely. So disintegrating as it goes, testing our communication. Then again, we have rediscover communication. So at times, I felt, you know, almost as if the song is about someone discovering, like a child, discovering the language, the meaning of words. So it's almost like a play with the meaning, with the theories of communication. And at the end, the pieces fit, like I'm starting understanding.
Very, very interesting. I never had this interpretation when listening to Schism, because this is one of my favorite Tool songs, actually.
Oh,
and
is it?
If I may just give you my interpretation that I have most of the times when I listen to the Schism is relationship and communication in the relationship, and the schism as something that can go separate ways, but also the pieces, when the pieces fit, you need to like take care of them, and the communication is a tool to keep the pieces together, something like that.
Oh, that's really good. We can actually link these two things, you know, like there's
so many, like,
yeah. Let's try to maybe stick to one and then maybe to go to another, because I feel like these are all interlinked as well, and that's the beauty of it. That's again why I feel like the song is almost, the way it's been written, it's like a poem, kind of, because we have a starting point. For me, it was discovering of a meaning, like a very general theme, discovering of communication, but then you can break it down. It's, you know, the communication theory, it's like allows human to decode and encode the, you know, the way they communicate between each other, to discover what they need and what they want, isn't it? And that's what the communication is. So it can go much deeper, and like you said, the schism, it can be actually rediscovering and trying to, you know, really understand each other in the relationship, for example. When, you know, do you know when you start being with somebody, or you're meeting somebody and you have this first, you know, feelings of like, whoa, I like this person. Yeah, first clicks, yes, let's call it this way. It actually, before it will become like a, you know, true love, true committed relationship, a lot of time will pass, and you need to kind of discover different things about the person, and you need to kind of understand and make the pieces fit, because
so
people
first
are really
you
different.
see the pieces falling away, but then, like he says, smoldering, like trying hard, they started to fit together, something like that.
Yeah, and I think actually there's even more in this, because I focused on communication aspect, and, you know, the pieces fit, and the song throughout was really great as well. So it was like fitting here, but there is also this reference to two lovers' souls in motion. And again, when you are discovering and also trying to make the relationship work, that's when your soul is in motion, isn't it? You are discovering all those things.
So you would say like soul in motion means like the two souls are changing themselves, like they're in motion so they can fit better, something like that?
Yes, so any type of motion, and anything the two people do when you have the relationship, not even, you know, between two lovers, but between mother and a child, for example, between the parent and the child needs to go through the learning process, so they discover that they observe the behavior of their mom. That's this motion. They don't always or you know, right away understand that.
Yeah.
Especially when they are older, you know, and they have their own fully grown reason, let's say. They will not understand all the actions of their own parents, for example, or you know, you won't understand all the action of someone that you think you love. You still need to discover it. But another really, really beautiful sentence here is finding beauty in the dissonance.
Yeah.
That's even better. You know, even like yin and yang, like the relationship
That's
between
what I
two people.
thought about, yeah.
Oh, it's so good, honestly. The words are, I think it's a masterpiece here.
And the music itself, I really like. It's so easy to remember. The main riff is so characteristic. It's almost like not Tool for the most of the song, but then it is really just Tool. I don't know. I just really like that music and the words.
Yeah, and the whole ending of the song as well. It was like kind of broken down with a very small amount of words and music like this. The whole ending was absolutely amazing. I absolutely love that. And again, you have here between supposed lovers, and then I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, around 10. I know the pieces fit.
And this is the same
it's understanding at the end.
And that's very interesting built, how it's built. So the song starts with I know the pieces fit, and it ends with I know the pieces fit. And in the middle, he explains how he knows the pieces fit. Like at the beginning, because I watched them fall away, it's kind of contradictory. Mm-hmm. So like at the beginning, he knows they fit, but he describes like they don't fit. And then he goes through like explaining why he thinks they fit.
Oh, that's because I see it slightly different, because the song starts, I know the pieces fit because I watched them fall away. So for me, like within the song, he actually explains the process of this discovery.
Process, yeah.
Not necessarily why he thinks they fit, but the actual process and what he went through. He watched them fall away. So he's been in this position, in this state where he didn't actually think that he understands anything, that the pieces don't fit at all. Like
but
it's so
he know
wrong.
They fit.
Yeah, because they worked through it, and that's what can be shown in here. Like, and the circling is worth it. Finding beauty in the dissonance. That's what that's the finding the to making it work basically in the relationship, like you said, for example. But oh my God, this can be so deep. Again, like also for me, like this very initial kind of thought I had about the communication process and the way the child is learning to communicate and to understand meaning and to give meaning to different things. That's also, it's like I know the pieces fit because I understand them now.
But there's so many like super interesting verses. Like I really like this one. I've done the math enough to know the dangers of our second guessing. Like I think that's...
How do you understand this?
Like in a relationship, if you assume too much about the intentions and what the other person meant when you're arguing, for example, and you second guess your own assumptions, then and it's like miscommunication basically in the in the context of relationship.
Oh, so is it just to ensure I understand you correctly? So is it kind of, would you say, the reference to the trap that people in relationship can fall sometimes to when, yes, they are arguing and they both have the things they think they know?
Yes, exactly.
They have their own grounds and they are really being really hard to convince each other or like see a different perspective or different...
Exactly.
Or put themselves into the other person's shoes.
It's exactly what I meant, especially like the following verse explains that doomed to crumble unless we grow and strengthen our communication. So unless you try to understand each other and communicate better.
Yeah, so unless you will try to open your mind and to, open your mind to the possibility that you may not be correct or, maybe you, even if you are, maybe there is a room to listen to the other person's opinion, voice her out as well, or go to some compromises. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it's really also like the number of ways you can look at it. Look at the whole lyrics of that song is amazing. But yeah. I would say like the language, or not maybe, the communication is the main theme, I would say.
Yeah.
However, yeah.
Check this one out. The light that fueled our fire then has burned a hole between us, so we cannot see to reach an end, crippling our communication. So what this may mean? The light that fueled our fire then has burned a hole between us.
So I think my first thoughts are at the beginning there was so big of emotion and like the fire, that it could, like with the yin and yang, it was super positive, but it quickly can turn into negative, like a very big fight, because you're super, like you have feelings. So even the fight will be more, if you don't care, you won't fight, right? You have to care in order to fight for something or with something, really. So the light that fueled out, and then there's a hole between them. The bigger the initial emotion was, the bigger that potential hole can be. And they cannot see to reach and crippling our communication. And then there's a moment when it's either gonna be gone or you're trying to fight it and actually start figuring out and fixing it. I don't know. To kind
of encode and decode what they need and what they want. That's the essence of communication. And that's what needs to break through in order to get the proper communication between two people. Not necessarily in the relationship, even in your work relationships as well. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship, of course. Yeah. But I think on the, if we go higher and abstract it a bit more, it can be literally generally more, there can be more general theme about the discovering the language and the meaning in general terms, It's more philosophical, isn't it? It's so great. I absolutely love the words here. Like any verse you look at is super interesting. Just like finding beauty in the dissonance. So like... Yeah, and then, and then lines, cold silence has, so it's not like even the full sentence, but then cold silence has a tendency to atrophy any sense of compassion. Oh, it's so good, honestly. I think it can be one of my best songs. I would have to listen to it again to decide whether it's my best one. I think it is, though. Because even the music, like just the music, it fitted into... Honestly, like, it fitted to the words. Like, every word had, like, kind of... I don't know how to describe it. How would you describe it? Because you're saying that that's your best song, right? Not the best, maybe, but one of my favorites. One of your favorites. So what are your main feelings when you listen to the song? I was just fascinated. Say harmony. Okay. Like, I really think that when he sings about the pieces fit or not, you can actually look at the music you're listening to right now and see that pieces fitting. Like, it's so well structured. It's so... And the song from the start till the end, it builds up and then it joins like those pieces. I don't know, it's very emotional rather than intellectual, so it's very hard to explain what I mean. But the song just... I can imagine that song as two strings going and then reaching in one point around the... where was it? Like, cold silence has a tendency to atrophy any sense of compassion. I think then at that point the song is becoming like more silent, like this silence they are talking about. There's change in the music. And then he knows the pieces fit, and then it's like the release of the song and everything meets together and there's more drums, more everything. So for me, like, I would say the harmony is the word that I would describe for this song. I think that's actually a great word, and that's perhaps what I felt when I was listening to the song, this harmony between lyrics and the music. It was genuinely the harmony, but also the way this song is structured, these words. And for me, again, it's like a poem. It was like listening to the beautifully sung poem. I agree with the poem. So good. So good. And it's maybe me as well, because I just love this type of writing, this type of style, which can have so many different layers, can be understood in so many different ways. You can start from something, it can be interpreted really narrowly or very widely. Yeah. So it just, I just love it, honestly. Yeah, I just love it as well. I don't know if it's time to finish and just, behind the camera, listen to it again. But maybe we should just have a quick look what people are saying about the song. Did you look up? And because, I didn't mean to obviously put myself in the position when I'm going to read something, and then I will be thinking about what I read and try to interpret through the prism of what I read. But I found this literally one note. It was on the main page about the schism. I didn't read about the way people interpret the song, so can you have a look, maybe?
Okay, I can have a look, but like I said, I don't know if I said that, but I haven't really looked through for the meaning.
Because I wonder if, I would be really surprised if anyone would say that the song has no meaning. Definitely. Even if, you are entitled to your opinion, but I would disagree. I think it has a lot, and it's just great in itself.
The meaning itself, like when you say the song has no meaning, the meaning is not, I think intention is the better word, because the author can have no intention, but the meaning is something you give it when you're listening to it.
And each of us can give it different meaning as well.
Yeah.
And that's all. And and the fact, if somebody says it has no meaning, that's meaning in itself, isn't it?
Sorry, I was trying to find this, and so there are some people thinking about it is about like religion and harmonizing all religions, something like that they all are kind of the same or going to the same conclusions. Another thing, interesting one, is this song is about the Tower of Babel. You know, the Tower of Babel, the multi-language failure.
Ooh, that's pretty interesting as well. But there is this language theme throughout, basically.
Yeah.
You know, the semantics, because every language has different semantic as well. And communication is trying to find, some links and to make those pieces fit, even if you communicate in completely different languages, to find this kind of base and ground of communication and understanding. That's interesting one.
Another one is, like, I think we talked about it, about the communication in the relationship and how you can like grow bitter because of it, because of the miscommunication and so on.
Really, really nice. I don't know if I would go as far as religion. I just don't think I see it at in this very moment. But perhaps when I will listen to it a bit more, I may actually find some interpretation and try to find my understanding of the song in the context of religion. It can happen because this is so good.
Yeah, and it would be a very interesting thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Shall we do it then? I hope we didn't disappoint you. I absolutely love the song, but I genuinely think it's a good time to finish and just, behind the camera, just have one more listen. What will you say?
Yeah, sure. So
yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you next week, and thank you so much for staying with us till the end. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, and we will be grateful for any comments about the interpretation of this song, because I think we are both very curious.
Yeah, I think it's like really great. It's like really great lyrics to work with.
Yeah, well said.
And now, really, thanks for watching.
Thank you.